Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Alright, hey, there we go. Oh my gosh. Alright, hey, there we go. We've got audio back, ladies and gentlemen. One way or another. I had to turn another controller on. Yeah, okay, so it's still working. Yeah, I had to, okay, so I had to turn another controller on that I had. Plug the headphones into that one under a different user. So I've got two controllers on my lap because I'm not using the steering wheel for the race, and I have used the steering wheel a lot lately. So I don't know, maybe that was the issue. I don't know what the problem was there, but all right. Glad you guys can hear us. Let's get back to the action. Sorry for not having any sort of a broadcast going there, but hopefully we are back. And if there's any more audio troubles, please let me know in the chat down below. I'll try to keep an eye on it throughout the course of this race. So we had green flag pit stops. I wanted to split the strategy half and half on lap 25 at the end of the stage, which is exactly what I did. Kyle Busch had led the majority of this race. He led every lap from the start up until when I took the lead right about lap 22 or so. I led 2 laps and then I brought it down onto pit road after having a 6-second lead. So now we've got the 4 fresh tires in the field. We are definitely the fastest car now. We're going to try to get as much track position as we can before Kyle Busch and the rest of the field comes onto pit road. Hopefully we stay green and we can actually cycle through. Otherwise the strategy isn't going to work. But because of how long of a track Pocono is, I figured I'd play the strategy out as best as I possibly could. So alright, here we go. I don't like pausing it in the middle of the race. I never do that, especially in these full-length races, but I mean I had to. I had to fix the audio at some point in time. I'm glad you guys let me know down in the comments section, because I mean, that's the whole point of doing the full-length races, is because I have live, realistic commentary. So if there's no commentary, there's no point of doing the video. So I'm glad I was able to get it to work. And hopefully things will be back to normal for the ongoing performance of this event. And I'll make sure it's going to be working tomorrow before I actually go to start the video for the live stream tomorrow night as well. So again, sorry for the troubles. And sorry for no commentary the first 25 laps, but hopefully things are better now. Alright, so we had, yeah, we're up to 12th. It looks like Kevin Harvick just hit pit road. Yeah, we got a lot of guys hitting pit road now. It's looking like they're playing the same strategy I am, so I think they saw me come onto pit road. And once I came onto pit road, a lot of other guys are. Yep, Kyle Busch is going to hit pit road now, so we'll get to see how fast he's going to be. And we'll also see if they'll take 2 tires or 4 tires. I took 4, but we'll have to see if we actually get a 2-tire stop. Hopefully you guys can keep filing in and keep joining here for this event, because it's kind of a bummer how we were up to 6 views, or 6 people watching at once, and kind of instantly went down. But yeah, we're back. What's my car setup? Pretty much it's just on the balanced setup right now. It's obviously better on the longer run. As usual, it's kind of tight the first 5 laps and then it loosens up, but I don't use custom setups, so can't really tell you guys too much. But yeah, once we get 5 laps into a run, we're pretty good for the most part. The difficulty that I'm playing on, I play on 105 for my AI difficulty, as always. So every race I do is 105, whether it's on the career mode or the full-length races. But as of right now, we've got about an 11-second lead on Kyle Busch. But again, we gained a lot of track position on 4 fresh tires. We pitted before him. But we only pitted a couple laps before him, so he doesn't have that much more fresher tires than what we have now. But he's probably going to be faster than us for the first 10 to 15 laps. So this is going to be interesting to see him try to cut into our lead. We were about 11 seconds ahead. We're already only 9.5 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch now. We still have drivers trying to cycle through pit road. You see Hemrick's on pit road right now, so is Michael McDowell. Tyler Reddick is cycled back through, Truex and Keselowski. So it looks like once everybody hits pit road that is currently on right now and is still coming down this lap, we are going to cycle through. The only thing that scares me is Kyle Busch catches and passes us. Oh boy. We almost got it in the wall off of turn 3, but we stayed in the gas. We got somebody closing in behind us on fresher tires that seems to be pretty fast. I think that's Stenhouse in the 17. So the lap cars might hurt us a little bit here. Daniel Hemrick, he's on about 5 lap fresher tires, but he came out enough in front of us. But man, Kyle Busch is cutting into that lead pretty quick. In 3 laps, he's mowed us down 4 seconds. And again, he's only got 2 lap fresher tires, so that's not going to make much of a difference. It's just how good his car is on the short run versus ours. So we might have a pretty good battle to the end of the stage. Now we try to deal with lap traffic. We got Joey Gase just in front of us here. We just passed Matt DiBenedetto. Hemrick trying to go to the outside. Now we're boxed in right behind Joey Gase in 35th as we look to the outside. He almost pulls up in front of us. Daniel Hemrick is there. Yeah, I think Hemrick and Stenhouse, they seem pretty fast for the most part. I want to get around them as quick as possible, of course, but they're holding me up. Couldn't get around Hemrick that time. See if we can get him in turn 2. Can't quite see Kyle Busch back there, but us racing side by side with Hemrick is not doing well for us. Again, we could not get him through turn 2. Yeah, Kyle Busch just came out of turn 2 back there. He's not far behind us. He's only 6 seconds back now, and he's catching us big time because we are stuck behind the 8 car. And now here comes Stenhouse. Stenhouse going to get on by us. We did not hit our entry to turn 3 that well, and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. going to unlap himself for the moment. Kyle Busch is cutting into this lead big time. Lap traffic is not helping me out at all. Trying to clear Stenhouse through turn 1. We're going to get back around him. Hopefully we can stay in front of him now, and hopefully we can catch back up to Hemrick and pass him pretty quick. The lead is cut down to 5 seconds. But even if Kyle Busch catches and passes us, we should get stage points in this stage because we're still another 14 seconds ahead of Tyler Reddick in 3rd. But we obviously want that playoff point if at all possible, so we're going to go hard for the stage win here on Kyle Busch. The only lap car in between me and Busch right now is Stenhouse right behind us. I don't know, this is it's going to be an interesting race to the end of the stage, that is for sure. Trying to catch right back up to Hemrick again. We're 4 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch now. We're catching Daniel Hemrick. And we're going to beat him into turn 3. So we're going to clear Hemrick getting into 3. Probably took us a couple extra laps, but we finally got around him. We're now going to just try to hold on to the position off of turn 3. Still about 4 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch. And now there are 2 lap cars in between us. We have not had a caution yet in the opening stage either, so that's pretty good. Be best for our strategy to stay caution free to the end of the stage here. Busch has caught 11 seconds. He's caught us by 11 seconds so far in this stage. My worst corner is probably turn 3. Which is not good because that cuts so much of your straightaway speed, of course, down this Long Pond straightaway. So we got 15 laps to go. Now more lap traffic looming in the picture here pretty soon. Obviously we want to put as many guys a lap down as possible before the end of the first stage as well. Trap them now, it's less guys will have to race in the next couple stages. But I remember my tires were getting, well, I mean, they weren't getting really worn out, but it affected the handling in the car at the end of that that first stint of the race. So hopefully it doesn't get too bad again, and we can keep control of the car, because we've got 14 laps to go in the stage yet. We have the tires down to about 50% on the way around. We're at about 70, 75 right now, so still got a little bit before that happens. But Kyle Busch digging into the lead again. He's under 3.5 seconds behind us. A lot of lap cars in between us now that are kind of packed together in front of him. As he is about 3 seconds off the lead as we catch Ty Dillon in 13. Passed him easily there. He was already a lap down. Chase Elliott is in front of us right now, and Elliott is the first driver, or sorry, the last driver on the lead lap. Yeah, Busch caught behind those lap cars now. So we're starting to pull away from him finally. He got the lead cut down to 3 seconds, so he gained about 8 to 8.5 seconds on us. Well, pitting just 2 laps earlier than him was enough to gain an extra 5 seconds during the green flag pit stops. If we didn't gain those 5 seconds, if we were to pit on the same lap, obviously you'd see right now you'd have about a 1 second lead on us. So we'd both be dealing with the lap traffic back there while battling each other. Just hoping we stay green to the end of the stage at this point. If we get a caution, that's going to throw a wrench in the strategy. Probably going to have some guys stay out and some guys hitting pit road. It's going to make me have to make a huge decision on whether or not I want to pit or stay out, depending on what everybody else is going to be doing. Again, the only driver out of the race so far is Landon Castle. He blew up within the first 15 laps of the race. So it was a pretty good race to start off through that first tire stint. And then it was also pretty good just to kind of see Kyle Busch cut into our lead so quickly. But once the tires started to even out, and the runs started to even out with each other, and he hit lap traffic a lot harder than I did, the race really mellowed out here towards the end of the first stage. But we still got 2 more stages of racing after this. Things could obviously heat up again. Pocono, known for having crazy restarts. How wide the racetrack is, especially down the Long Pond straightaway going into turn 1, so I'm sure we're going to see some crazy restarts during this race as well. Even if we don't get any cautions for incident in this one, we know we're going to have 2 restarts because of the stages. So Larson's going to go a lap down, so is Bowman and Boyer. So 12 drivers now on the lead lap. Off of turn 2 that time. We'll have 10 laps to go in the stage once we hit the start-finish line. Our fastest time of the race so far is a 54.485. Our fastest time, or sorry, that was the last lap. Our fastest time of the race is a 54.345, and that is about 0.7 of a second off from our fastest time ever here at Pocono, the 53.615. So we've definitely got some room for improvement. This isn't the fastest car we brought to the track, at least early on in this one. And I know the car's pretty tight on the opening probably 5 to 10 laps, so it's like, okay, you can loosen it up, but the car gets so loose after about 20 to 25 laps that it just wants to spin out on me in the corners. And I'm really having to correct it quite a bit to keep the car straight. I couldn't imagine if I was using the steering wheel today what that would be like. So we've widened the lead out to about 7 seconds now. Oh boy. Yeah, car's definitely starting to step out on me now. Got 8 laps to go in stage 1. Busch still has quite a few lap cars ahead of us, but we're definitely the fastest car on the track at this point. On the tire run, we've got about an 8-second lead. The car is very, very loose, so with that 8-second lead, of course, we want to pull away and keep putting cars a lap down, but we got to kind of take it easy in the corners so we don't take the risk of wrecking this car before we get to the end of the stage. Like I said, I wanted there to not be a caution to the end of the stage, and that also includes me not wrecking, obviously, because I'd have to repair damage on pit road, and it would cost me the stage win at this point, maybe even any shot of any stage points. Still impressed by Tyler Reddick. He's not showing race-winning speed, but he is in third. And you never know what could happen with a late race restart or something of that nature. Really, the only 2 cars that looks like have a shot of winning this race as of right now is Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney, so probably what we're going to be looking at here throughout the course of this one. That was a solid corner through turn 2 there. Felt like we just flew through that corner. I catch Cody Ware now at the stripe. 6 to go. Once we get to 3 laps left in the stage, if a caution comes out, that will end the stage. So we're getting close to that point. We can just make it a few more laps. It's then our race to lose in the opening 50 laps here. Race pace obviously pretty quick with not having a caution yet. Everybody has obviously cycled through on pit stops, and everybody can make it to the end of the stage on fuel because they all obviously pitted at least at halfway in the stage or later. But everybody has obviously made their stops at this point. Now William Byron up here, he might be on the lead lap. Oh boy. Drove it way too deep into turn 3 that time. Cost us a little bit of time. Right though. But if William Byron's on the lead lap, that's another car we can put a lap down here before the stage break. Again, he's in 12th. We're definitely catching him. And thanks for everybody joining here for this live stream full race at Pocono here tonight, Friday night, prime time spot. I don't think I've ever done a Friday night race. Usually it's middle of the week night races if I do have them. But yeah, trying something a little different here. Trying to get more viewership so you guys can enjoy my content while it happens live. If you were a part of the first live stream portion of this race, we had audio issues. I guess you guys could not hear my commentating for the first 25 laps of this race. So the first whole tire stint we had, unfortunately. So when I got onto pit road, I was trying to adjust it and I had to restart the stream. And, well, not restart the stream, but start another stream. So I'll have both races on the playlist, but if you're wondering why there's no broadcast or commentary for the first 25 laps in the first part of the video, that would be why. But we are still doing the full race here, and luckily I was able to get it fixed, at least for right now. But again, if anything messes up over the course of this race and that happens again, I will not be able to find out until the end of the race, when the video is posted, or if you guys let me know in the comment section, of course. So I'm glad you guys were able to jump on that pretty quickly in the last stream, because otherwise that would have been a rough one. That would have felt really bad. But nevertheless, we are here. We're running good. Started at the rear of the field in 38th. Didn't qualify. Tried to make it tough on us. It took us a little over 20 laps to take the lead from Kyle Busch, who had a pretty big lead there for a while, but now we have the big lead late in the stage. We were able to pass him before we got onto pit road, and we still cycled out in front of him with an even bigger lead. He tried to cut back into it, brought the lead down to 3 seconds, and then we were able to pull away a little bit more once again. But we have gone caution-free so far through stage 1. We will have 2 laps to go at the line this time. Jimmy Johnson's going to go 2 laps down now. And there is a group of cars up ahead that we can catch in the next 5 miles. Laps down as well. Maybe we have some drivers that are still on the lead lap up here. It looks like Eric Jones is up in the mix. And Eric Jones is definitely on the lead lap. He's a couple cars ahead yet, but we can possibly even cut into the top 10 here before the end of the stage. A little loose getting into turn 2 again there. Looks like Daniel Suarez is up here as well. I don't know if he's on the lead lap or not. He very well could be also. And he is in 11th. So Suarez is about to go a lap down. White flag is going to be in the air. 1 lap to go in stage 1 at Pocono. 10 drivers on the lead lap currently, but Eric Jones is the next driver for us to put a lap down, and he is right in front of us. He's going to try to hold on this final lap, but I just don't think he's going to be able to. Had a big run on him going into turn 1. Looks like we're going to catch Chris Buescher as well, but he's not on the lead lap. To the inside of Eric Jones, going to use Buescher as a pick. Easily going to pass him there. Jones tried to go up the middle, but we were just too fast on the inside of the racetrack. So 9 drivers on the lead lap. A dominating final half of the stage. But we all get to restart it again in stage number 2. Hopefully we can start by winning the race off of pit road at the stage break. So we come off of turn 3 for the final time. Ryan Blaney is going to win stage number 1, gain another playoff point here at Pocono. And on to stage 2 we go. So we're going to have to wait a little bit for the top 10 to get all the way back around. Now, Eric Jones finished the lap down in 10th, so yeah, he already had the 1 point. Jones is going to get the free pass, so we will have 10 drivers on the lead lap when we start stage 2. And it looks like everybody's going to hit pit road as expected. try to get a quick stop here. Take 3/4 of a tank of fuel, 4 fresh tires. And we'll probably play the same pit strategy that we did in stage 1, pitting at the halfway mark here. By the time these caution laps run up, our halfway mark might be a little shorter. But, yeah, that's what we'll expect here. A couple spots shifted there in the back half of the top 10, but the top 4 rather, stays the same. So we won the race off the pit road. We'll start from the lead in stage 2. Kyle Busch in second, and the green flag is back in the air at Pocono. Tyler Reddick in third, right behind us as well. We got off to a pretty good restart. Kyle Busch did as well. We're able to pull up in front of him before we get into turn 1 though. So we drive it in pretty deep there, trying to hold on in front of him, and now here comes Tyler Reddick to the bottom. Reddick looking for the lead off of turn 1. Here comes Logano up the middle. Penske teammate trying to take it 3 wide. So we go to the bottom. We're able to finally block off Tyler Reddick, and they're 3 wide into the tunnel turn. 4 wide now off the exit of the corner. We're going to get into the wall. Contact. Kurt Busch to the lead. Oh my goodness, I stuffed it in the wall off of turn 2. We got really tight all of a sudden. Got back into the gas too soon. Oh, Busch washes us up the racetrack. And Kurt Busch is going to lead his first lap of the race here at Pocono as Kyle tries to get us going down the Long Pond straightaway. Well, I did say earlier that Pocono's known for crazy restarts, and we just had one here to start stage 2. Big run on the 19 going into turn 1. Couldn't capitalize. Busch is stuck behind us. Reddick going to get by for position now. Keselowski trying to do the same. Trying to side draft off of him though and hold him back. Got to get out of the gas kind of soon though and just let him get on by. There goes Kyle around the top side as well. Man, that hit off the wall cost us so much time and so much as far as the positioning on the racetrack, and we're still dropping back. Got a little bit of damage on the right side of our car. We're all the way back to 9th. Ooh, man. Could not get that car to turn on the inside of the track there. Again, we're really tight first 5 to 10 laps. Then the car gets a little bit better there for about another 10 laps or so, and then... yeah, I don't know. We'll see. Into turn number 2. Oh boy. Got tight, kind of got up into the 42 of Larson there, and the good news is Kyle Busch isn't in the lead. And remember, he is the fastest car in the early part of the run, but he got held up big time when they were 4 wide for second place. Then we ended up 3 wide for the lead, but his brother Kurt was able to take the lead. Eric Jones, of course, restarted at the rear of the field. That's why he's still in 10th, and we're in 9th, despite the fact we have guys like Chase Elliott and Kyle Larson in front of us. Daniel Suarez, who are all a lap down, battling for the free pass position. Alex Bowman as well. He gets by us off of turn 1. Just losing a ton of ground here. Wow. It's amazing how much speed and how much time we're losing here. I'm surprised we haven't had a caution. Not only through stage 1, we were early in stage 2. We probably should have wrecked and had a yellow there to start the stage. The way that restart went, especially after I clobbered the wall off of turn 2. I don't know. I don't even know how I did that. I just got back in the gas way too soon there. I was looking out of the look back cam, seeing where everybody was at because they were 4 wide, and I was willing to block, and then I just stuffed it in the wall. Made kind of a rookie mistake. Pretty good. Pretty solid corner through turn 2 that time. So yeah, we got a big lead to try and run down on Kurt Busch. He's about 5 seconds ahead of us. It could be worse, but again, Kyle Busch, once he takes the lead, he'll probably pull away a little bit more as well. We got a lot of cars in between us and the leader as well to kind of slow us down just a little bit. All right. Didn't quite get down to the apron that time, but it was still a pretty good corner. We got the car to stick still towards the inside of the racetrack. Got a big run on Chase Elliott now going into turn 3 as we take the dive to the inside, taking a peek. But he's going to beat us back to the gas, and he's going to hold on in front of us. Can't quite get to his rear bumper there to side draft. Now we can. Kind of got tucked in behind him there for a second. Got a little bit of a draft, and we're going to clear Elliott down the Long Pond straightaway. Going hard into turn 1, down to the bottom on Bowman, driving it in deep. Can't complete the pass, at least not yet. Now we try to side draft Bowman off of turn 1. Just staying on the left rear corner panel. It's just enough. It's going to get tight going into turn 2. Going to clear him off the exit of the corner. Blocking him now, and Chase Elliott looking to the inside going into turn 3 on Bowman behind us. Teammates. Oh boy, man, Bowman had a big run on us there for a second, checked up, and now here comes Elliott. They're side by side. That'll probably slow them down behind us. Bowman's got a big run coming here going into turn 1. But he's still on the outside of Elliott, so he can't really do anything with it. Kyle Busch has regained the lead, and he has a 7-second advantage over us in 9th. And we're still 3.5 seconds back from the next closest car for position of Joey Logano in 8th. Eric Jones is 5 seconds behind us in 10th. Daniel Suarez still the first driver, 1 lap down in the free pass position in 11th. So it seems like these guys got a little bit faster during the stage break. Probably made some adjustments on pit road there to even up the playing field, perhaps. Gaming Time, how's it going? Thanks for joining this race here tonight. So it's hard to tell as far as the lapse time where we're at because we had that audio issue. We had to pause it and kind of start another stream. So as far as the race length goes, I did start at about 8:20-ish, but we're probably a little less than an hour into this race in elapsed time. And we're kind of flying by. We haven't had a caution to this point yet. And 50 laps through the first stage, we won caution free. We got another 50 laps here in stage 2, and then stage 3 will be 60. 10 laps longer than the first 2 stages. So we're starting to run down Joey Logano here, but Kyle Busch still kind of pulling away from us slightly. He's about 7.5 to 8 seconds ahead in the race lead. We're going to try to run him down, though. We're getting very, very close to being at that point of the run where we are finally faster than Kyle Busch. Watching from Texas. Nice. It is nice to see we got viewers from all over the country. So I'm learning where you guys are watching from. Goes to show we got a lot of racing fans around the country. Actually found out about one of the viewers being from or at least he grew up about an hour from where I live, so that's kind of crazy. It's a small world, man. It really is. We have a viewer from Alaska watching tonight as well. Texas, Virginia. People from all over the country. So still about 7.5 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch. We've gained a couple tenths on him over the last couple laps. But can we catch him before we hit the halfway mark in the stage? Lost a lot of ground with that mistake at the start of stage 2. We're trying to play catch up, so hopefully when we start stage 3 I don't make that stupid error again and overrun turn 2. So we're only about halfway to our pit cycle. Gotten about 12 laps in this stage. Got about another 11 to 12 laps yet until we hit pit road at the halfway mark in the stage. Cut the stage in half just like we did last time. We got Denny Hamlin and Joey Logano just in front of us, so three-way battle for 7th going on shortly here, but hopefully we can get past them pretty quick. We'll now alternate through the cameras for the first time in this race here tonight. 35 laps to go in stage 2. Here at Pocono, we're going to get on by Denny Hamlin now for 8th. Logano leaves the bottom open. Penske teammates now side by side off of turn 1 for the 7th spot as we go up the side draft and now trying to get away from him. Keep him from side drafting us. On the second longest straightaway of the racetrack going into turn 2. We're going to clear him. Oh boy. Drove it in way too deep getting into turn 2. Logano able to fight back and pass us around the outside. That was a mistake on my behalf there. I don't know what I was thinking driving it in that deep. Almost didn't get it to stick as it about turned around on me. Now through turn 3, trying to get the run back to the 22 of Logano. Can't quite get to him that time. We got close, but I think we beat him back to the gas. So here we go down the Long Pond straightaway. We're going to move on past him and clear him before we get into turn number 1 this time, so we should be able to hold on to 7th. And Kevin Harvick and Kurt Busch are the next 2 drivers ahead of us. Kyle Busch has not caught lap traffic in the stage yet as well, and that seemed to be when we were catching him the most back in stage 1. We're just a hair faster than Kyle Busch right now, though. Lead is cut down to just over 6 seconds back. Again, hopefully we catch him in no time here. I'd definitely like to catch him before we hit pit road in about another 10 or less laps. Again, I'd like to make it to lap 25. Then hit pit road then. It'll be a little bit past halfway considering that we had caution laps at the beginning of the stage, but it'll only give us even fresher tires come stage end compared to last stage. Then we'll have to run 30 laps, of course, by the time we hit stage number 2. Now we look to the inside of Harvick for 6th. Can't quite complete the pass yet. Now we beat him back to the gas, and there we go. Am I on PS4? Yes, I am. I am on a PS4 as I run all my races here. Using the controller tonight as well instead of the steering wheel. We've been on a streak with the steering wheel as of late, but taking the night off with it. We'll use the wheel again when we go to Michigan tomorrow night. We'll have an 8 o'clock Eastern Standard start time for that one as well, just like we did here at Pocono. Just for a heads up for all of you guys tuning in to watch here tonight. Thanks, I greatly appreciate it. Glad we got up to 6 people watching at the most. Not only in this video, but also in the last video. We did that multiple times. In the last video, I'm referring to the first 25 laps of the race because we had an audio issue that I had to start second part to this one. Big run coming on Kurt Busch. Yep, we're going to easily pass and clear him before we get into turn 1 now. So lap traffic dealing a hand at this point. We can see Kyle Busch off in the distance. Oh boy, got a little loose through turn 1 there. Left side tires down on the apron. A little out of control, but we were able to hold on to it for a quick second. We're able to hold on to our top 5 position here. Kurt Busch trying to hang on. Just behind us in 6th, Martin Truex Jr. Brad Keselowski now, just less than a second ahead of us. Tyler Reddick in 2nd place, the rookie. Can he get his first career win and his first win of the season to clinch a playoff spot here tonight at Pocono? That would be pretty epic. So I would assume he is nowhere close to the top 16 on points, so that would be huge for him. He's had a couple solid races throughout the course of the year, but this is probably his best chance to win yet. Driving it deep into turn 1. Gaining ground on Truex and Keselowski as they're side by side just in front of us. And now Joey Gase is there. And we had to get on the brakes for a second. Everybody was checking up. Joey Gase kind of got in our way a little bit there, but we're able to get around him finally. And we'll have to stay tucked behind Keselowski going into turn 2. Man, that car snapped loose, but we drove right out of it. Got more lap traffic in the way and out of the inside of Keselowski for 4th going into turn 3. Trying to hold on to the position now as the 19 of Truex is just in front of us. As the lap car kind of clipped the grass up there in front of Kyle Busch. That might have slowed him down just a little bit. And we're going to move up to 3rd. Reddick just in front of us as well now. Looking to the outside of Tyler Reddick going into turn 1. Just kind of blocking the bottom. Kyle Busch just went 3 wide to the top side around those lap cars there to make the pass. We go to the top side trying to clear Reddick. Oh, could not do it though before we catch the lap car. To get around him before we get into turn 2. Reddick able to hold on to 2nd for now. Drove it in a little too deep that time too. And here comes Truex on the outside as we got to hold him up. Top 5, all within a couple seconds of the lead here at Pocono. Busch still about a 1.5 seconds ahead of us. Reddick holding on to 2nd for the moment. Got a big run off of turn 3. Down the front stretch. He goes down to block. Now trying to side draft off of one another. And we're going to clear him before we get into turn 1. Up to 2nd. A second back from Kyle Busch, the race leader. So we hit lap 20 in stage 2. Huge pack of lap cars just up ahead here. About 5 cars right in front of Kyle Busch. Going down to the bottom for the race lead on Busch as he's trapped up on the outside here. That's going to take them a lot longer than what it took us to get around. Easily taking the race lead into turn 2. So we now try to pull away before we hit our green flag stops here in about another 5 laps. I almost wonder if they might try to short pit. Oh, we got a car blowing up going onto pit road. We stay green. Not sure exactly who that was. But luckily they were able to get off the track and onto pit road in time before the caution. Tyler Reddick back up to 2nd again. Truex up to 3rd and Kyle Busch is now back to 4th. Keselowski's reeled him in as well, now trying to pass him for position. So we try to pull away before we hit pit road here soon. And then we'll have to see where we cycle out of the pits after that point. Solid corner there through turn 2 that time. Pulling away mightily, the lap traffic definitely worked out in our advantage in stage 2 as it did stage 1. It is so hard to pass at Pocono. We got long straightaways, and that's really the best passing opportunity because once you get into the corners, it's so tight with how flat each of these three corners are, and they're very unique, sharp angles. Everybody just really tries to fight for the bottom as much as possible. Right along the yellow line on the apron or the curb, depending on what corner you're in. We're definitely off to a hot start in this one. We won stage 1. Trying to win stage 2 now. About 6 seconds ahead of Reddick. Kyle Busch about 10 seconds off the lead. Again, not as fast on the short runs. Oh! Little kiss off the wall that time off of turn 3. We do have right side damage on the car. We're definitely going to fix that when we hit pit road in the next couple laps. It doesn't look like anybody has pit yet. Trying to beat us onto pit road and maybe gain just a tad bit of track position. But again, the first 10-15 laps we are nowhere near as fast as everybody else, especially Kyle Busch. But Busch is back to third. He has just passed Truex again. And again, we're at that point in the run, 20 to 25 laps. The tires really fall off, and although we're fast, we are extremely loose, almost wrecking loose at times, depending on how we roll in and out of the corner. How much longer is Reddick going to be able to hold on to second? He's 8 seconds off the lead, but he's still 4 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch. Remember, once you saw me pit, there were other drivers hitting pit road that lap and the next couple laps too, so I can very well see that again here in this stage, and maybe we'll have some guys try to stretch it as long as they can as well. That is very much possible. You can run 40 laps on a full tank of fuel, and when we went green, we had 47 laps in this stage, so everybody should have to pit. Unless we were to have had 2 cautions, but again, we have not had a caution for incident yet today. I've not ran a full cup race caution-free, not only on this season, but at all, ever. I don't remember ever running a full cup race caution-free, so this could be a first here tonight. So we have hit lap 25, so we are going to pit this time by. So we have about a 9.5 to 10 second lead on Reddick. But I think Kyle Busch should be able to get around him at some point in time, so I'm really looking at Kyle Busch, and we are a lot further ahead of him this stage than what we were when we pitted in stage 1 under green. So here we go. Pocono kind of known for fuel mileage races. We'll have to see if we'll have one here coming into... Oh boy, lap cars in our way up ahead. We might have to stay out 1 extra lap. Yeah, I couldn't get down onto pit road there. The 48 and the 47 were kind of holding us up, and we went around the outside to pass them, so we're going to wait 1 more lap to pit here. Sydney, how's it going? Thanks for joining here tonight. This full race coverage of NASCAR Heat 4 on the channel at Pocono. Thanks, Sid. Oh man, that got tight. Bubba Wallace about came down into us getting into turn 2. So we're pitting a lap later than what I wanted to, but it didn't look like anybody pit yet. Wanted to kind of split the stage in half, so we're a little past halfway in the stage. Clear to pit this time, though, off of turn 3. Will anybody follow? We just got to make sure we don't speed onto pit road this time. 55 miles an hour is the speed limit. We coasted on. And we'll take our 4-tire stop. 3/4 of a tank of fuel, enough to fill it up to its maximum capacity, and we will repair damage as well. JR, thanks for the comment down below. The nice racing. Greatly appreciate it. Hopefully you guys are enjoying the race and the commentary over the course of this race as well as any other race. And you can see there is a little bit of front bumper damage, I guess, too. I didn't see that on the car before. And caution, our first of the race as we're already on pit road. We lost the lead to Reddick, but we have a car blowing up going into turn 1. Can't tell who that is exactly, but that is our first caution of the race as we are about halfway home. Alright, so interesting moment here. We could stay out of the pits because we had already pit, so we will cycle back through as the race leader. So that was actually great timing for everybody to pit there, but yeah, here we go. Well, this is going to be a dash to the end of the stage. I'm not sure how this is going to hold up with bunching everybody back up. I would have liked it to stay green, but if the caution had to come out, at least it came out while we were already on pit road and repaired our damage. So we are off. We are ready to go. Green flag back in the air following the first caution of the race. Right at about the halfway mark on lap number 70, or sorry, it was lap 80 at the time of the caution. And look at this, 3 wide for the lead off of turn 1. Reddick trying to thread it up the middle. Kyle Busch to the lead on the outside. Slight contact between us and the 31. And that's going to allow Kurt Busch to squeeze on by on the outside as well. Busch brothers running 1-2 at Pocono. And how big of a lead can Kyle Busch get out to before we start to run him down towards the end of the stage? And will we catch lap traffic before the end of the stage as well? Reddick squeezing to the inside, going into turn 3. He's going to get on by. We're tight. We have to check out of the gas. We're going to lose a ton of spots on the opening lap of the restart. Logano just got into the back of Keselowski as well. Keselowski clears us before we get into 1. We'll try to cross him over to the inside. Man, that car did not want to turn. Hamlin going to squeeze on by, and Logano fading back more and more, hurting our chances of winning stage 2 here at Pocono. Couldn't have had worse timing for that caution. To be quite honest, everybody on equal tires. We are terrible on the first 10 to 15 laps of the run. Oh, a little contact now with Eric Jones. We are extremely tight. I cannot get the car to turn to the inside of the track. It'll loosen up after about 5 to 10 laps, but man, this is killing us. We're all the way back to 10th right now. But with Daniel Suarez having the free pass under the caution, he had to restart at the rear of the field, so we're guaranteed stage points likely. As it's just a matter now of how far back will we fall before we start to try and cut into the lead, and where will we end up by the end of the stage. Going to complete the pass on Daniel Hemrick, but now he tries to cross over. We're going to block him off. Clean block, but it was risky at that. Trying to stay in front of these guys as much as we possibly can right now. Hemrick's got a big run off of turn 3 again as he peeks down to the inside. He is there. And another block down the Long Pond straightaway. 15 to go in stage 2 at Pocono. Kyle Busch leads. He has led the majority of the laps so far today. We have led a close second as far as laps led, despite winning stage 1. And where can we go from here? Who is going to get the win in stage number 2, get that playoff point, and maybe even get the race win come race end? We've only had 1 caution today. Fewest amount of cautions we have had in a race all season is 4. And that came in the Auto Club 400 at the Auto Club Speedway. if that continues on here throughout the course of this one. It's hard to tell if we're actually cutting into this lead or not yet. I don't think we are. I think it's still too early in the run. We're 6.5 seconds back from Kyle Busch. He's pulling away. We're kind of pulling away from these cars behind us and slightly catching up to guys like Bowman and Eric Jones ahead of us. But Kyle Busch is still faster out in front with the clean air, of course. Clean air means so much here at Pocono. These longer, flatter racetracks, Pocono, Indianapolis. These kinds of tracks are definitely huge when it comes to trying to get out in front like this. Road courses as well. It's just so vital. It's what makes restarts even crazier. Not only it's a wide racetrack, but just trying to battle to get the clean air like Kyle Busch did right there. That was huge. Got 12 laps to go. Stage number 2. Busch just getting off of turn 2 here. And now we are just getting into turn 2. Made that car stick on the inside of the track there all the way to the apron. It was a solid corner to try and cut into these guys' deficit. Driving it in deep into turn 3 as well. Gonna get it to stick. I didn't think it was gonna stick there at first. I thought we got back into the gas too soon. That wasn't the case. Still got 11 laps left in stage 2. We got time. It's a long racetrack, 2.5 miles, so 11 laps here at Pocono is quite a bit. We're 7.5 seconds off the lead. He's still pulling away from us, though. We're getting to that point where we're going to have to gain huge chunks a lap, and we're still not even gaining on him. In fact, Eric Jones is slightly pulling away still in 8th. We are reeling in Alex Bowman. He is not for position, though. Sorry, Eric Jones is in 9th. We're in 10th place. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin just in front of both of them. Yep, Alex Bowman like right on our rear bumper now as well. All the way down to the apron there. So we're finally cutting into those guys at least up ahead of us. Eric Jones, Logano, and Hamlin have been kind of racing side by side with one another. We're definitely cutting into those deficits. And Kyle Busch hasn't pulled away much. He's still 7.5 seconds ahead, and I believe we have 9 laps to go. Yeah, 9 to go here in stage number 2. It's going to be a tight battle to the finish. Trying to run as fast as lap times as I can. Really pushing this car hard. Love to sweep the stages here at Pocono. Every stage point matters, of course. Every playoff point matters as well. Trying to get the stage wins. We're already locked into the playoffs, so we're just battling for a regular season title. We've got a big points lead, but you never know what could happen. A couple DNFs away from not having a great finish. Joey Logano now back to 9th. Eric Jones is up to 8th, looking to pass Denny Hamlin for position as well. And Tyler Reddick has just taken the race lead late in stage number 2. But that's what I want to see, is those guys start battling up ahead of the field. But how did Kyle Busch lose the lead? That is unbelievable. Looks like they got like a 3-car battle going on up there. I think Kurt Busch might be in the mix as well. Very close to the wall off of turn 2, not getting out of the gas at all. Big run to the back of Logano, side by side with our teammate into turn 3, and we're going to clear him. Up to 9th. Eric Jones, Denny Hamlin just in front of us as well, 2 Joe Gibbs Racing teammates. Big run on Eric Jones. Here we go, 7 laps to go in stage 2. Can we catch up to Reddick and Kyle Busch? And if they keep racing with each other for the lead, we're going to dig into this lead a lot faster, because I don't think they're going to catch lap traffic before the end of this stage. So we're just relying on them. We're relying on our car's speed first off, but second of all, we're relying on them battling with each other as well. Kevin Harvick, next car for position in 6th, about a half second ahead. Carrying a lot of speed off of turn 3. Trying to get in the draft of the 4 car in front of us. 6 to go now in stage 2. And we're about 5.5 seconds off the lead. So we're not at the point where we have to gain a second a lap still, but we're pretty close. Off of turn 1, Kyle Busch back to the lead in front of Tyler Reddick again, as Reddick tries to steal the stage win away from the 18 of Busch, who has led the majority of this race and the majority of stage number 2 as we go down to the bottom of the track to break the draft from Harvick, trying to get away from him as quick as possible, not have him reel us back in. Got back into the gas pretty soon in turn 2. Got it to stick again though. We are running the wheels off of this thing, trying to reel in these guys ahead of us. We should be able to get up to 3rd, but can we catch the top 2 of Reddick and Busch as Reddick goes to the inside of Kyle Busch again, looking for the lead. 4 laps to go in stage 2. 5 to go, sorry. 5 to go in stage 2. This is going to be close. Oh boy, got a little loose. Left side tires on the apron. That's not what I wanted there. My goodness, this is getting close. Down to the bottom of the racetrack, 3 wide, pretty sketchy going into turn 2 on Kurt Busch and Martin Truex Jr. Contact with the 1, and now we're stuck in the middle, 3 wide. Trying to break away from these guys. Nobody giving an inch into turn 3. Truex hits us. This is costing us a ton of time. Still side by side with the 1. Trying to side draft down the Long Pond straightaway. We've got a run though on both him and Truex. And we'll clear both of them before we get into turn 1. Keselowski in 3rd just in front of us. Leaves the bottom open. Our teammate, after leaving the bottom open, we're side by side now for 3rd rather, off of turn 1. All the way down to the bottom of the racetrack. Gonna pull up and clear him now before we get into turn 2. 3.5 seconds off the lead with about 3.5 laps to go. That 3 wide battle though with Truex and Kurt Busch, that might have cost us just enough, but Reddick is back out in the lead as the 18 and the 31 are having an epic battle to the end of stage 2. Oh man, Busch might have mowed down the grass trying to get around Reddick. That slows us down quite a bit as well. 3 to go. This is going to be tight. I mean, this is exciting as it is. We are cutting this stage close. 2 lap cars about to get in the way of those two. Probably getting into turn 2. They're side by side off of turn 1. Busch to the bottom. Reddick on the top with 2 lap cars looming. Man, it's going to be close if we're going to catch him or not. I'm still not sure. How much will those lap cars come into play? Off of turn 2. Big run coming. Busch back to the lead. Using the 2 lap cars as a pick. Kyle Busch got around both those lap cars really easily. Reddick was struggling. He had to get to the outside. And Busch is going to gap Reddick just a little bit off of turn 3. 2 to go at the line. We need to stay green to the end of the stage. Oh, we're kind of caught in between the 52 and the 71. So we had to check up just a little bit down the Long Pond straightaway again. The lead is now cut down to about 1.5 seconds. Busch easily able to get underneath the 66 of Joey Gase. This is going to be close. We're going to have there's a good chance we're going to have a photo finish to the end of the stage. Trying to beat Gase into turn 2. Busch. Lap car just in front of him. Cost him a little bit of time. It looked like it was Matt Tift. Me and Reddick trying to run him down to the end of the stage. To the inside of Reddick going into turn 3. Lap car. Matt Tift in the way. He pulls down just in front of us. And now me and Reddick trying to split Matt Tift. Look at how loose we are off of turn 3. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go in stage 2. Just less than a second off the lead. Side by side for second with Reddick now. We're going to pass him. We're going to clear him going into turn 1. Busch has 2 lap cars in his way. On the outside, Busch trying to get around LaJoie and McLeod as we follow the 18 off of turn 1 to the inside for the lead. Down to the bottom of the track trying to break the draft. Reddick got by both lap cars pretty quickly as we clear Kyle Busch going into turn 2. The comeback in stage number 2 looking like a last lap pass. Oh, had to get out of the gas there just a little bit. Our worst corner, turn 3, coming up. Brendan Gaughan in our way as well on the bottom of the track. Oh, we had to check up quite a bit on the brakes hard. Here comes the 18 of Busch. Oh, loose again, but we are going to get there. Barely. Last lap pass to win stage 2 for Ryan Blaney. Boy, we cut that one close. Wow. Blaney wins stage 2 with a last lap pass. And now everybody will hit pit road during the stage break for 4 fresh tires. Take a half can of fuel, enough to fill it up to the end, and now a little bit of a breather before we start stage 3. Again, though, hopefully you guys have enjoyed throughout the course of this one today. So far, we have had a great one. Green flag back in the air. Stage number 3 underway. 57 laps to decide the winner of the race. And if stage 2 was any indication, this could be a wild finish to the race. That was the last lap pass. We went from 3rd to 1st on the last lap in stage 2. Lap cars definitely helped us out, as well as the battle between Reddick and Busch alone helped us out. Off of turn 2, Reddick going for the lead, but we're going to block him off. Back to the top to block the 18. Trying to hold the clean air on the restart as much as we can. They're both right behind us now into turn 2. Tight. Just clearing the 31 in contact with the 18. Kyle Busch to the lead at Pocono once again. We're going to try not to lose many spots. Oh, tight off of turn 3. Hard contact with the 31 and the 20. Reddick lost a ton of spots. He's trying to get back up to speed. And we fall back to 6th now. It's really tight getting into these corners again. We have struggled on restarts all day long. And the start of stage 3 was no different. Look at Logano just power moving us around the outside through turn 2. Hamlin went to the bottom. We got a run on the 22 though. We'll go back to his inside into turn 3 for 9th. A little bit of a side draft. Oh man, we got really tight though. On the brakes hard. Now here comes the 42 on the bottom. That's not for position. Tyler Reddick is. He'll pass us and we're back to 11th. This is the furthest back we have been in the field since stage 1. And now Hemrick trying to give us a push down the Long Pond straightaway. That'll help us out a ton as we have just hit 200 miles an hour into turn 1. That was probably the fastest we have gone in there all day, as I thought Larson was going to hit the wall behind us. That wasn't the case. 3 wide off the exit of the corner now. Larson giving us a push. And now contact with the 8. 3 wide off the tunnel turn, probably the tightest area of the racetrack. This is what Kyle Busch needed to pull away like this again. Now we need to run to 30 laps to split this stage in half. Just like we did in the first 2 stages. Hopefully we can get kind of out ahead once again. Before we hit pit road, and hopefully we stay green this time so we don't have to fight as hard as we did back in stage 2. It was probably entertaining for you guys, and it would probably be really entertaining if we had that kind of a finish to this race as well. But Pocono, who would have thought, putting on a great show tonight. I think we put this race in the prime. So we got around Larson there. Trying to work on Chase Elliott, 24 of Byron. He's behind us in the rear view right now as well, trying to loom into the picture. Big run on the 9. Going to clear him off of turn 1. It's going to give us a little bit of a push here, try to get us going. Going to carry a ton of speed into the tunnel turn here. Now he lets us go. Wow, we still hit that corner nice. This has the makings to be probably the fastest lap of the race that we have run yet. To this point, our fastest lap is a 54.232. That is still about 0.6 of a second slower than our fastest lap ever coming into this race here at Pocono. Seven seconds off the lead and still dropping back from the 18, but well, the 31 probably won't be able to battle as well as he did in stage 2, at least on this run, because of the contact we had earlier, costing both of us a lot of time. But Reddick has gotten past us. He is trying to work to get back into the top 5 fairly quickly after the incident. But again, only 1 caution for incident today, and it came at the halfway mark in this race on lap 80 of 160. So obviously our longest green flag run was 79 completed laps. This would be the longest if we go all the way to the end of the race from there, as it would be 81 laps to... Well, no, by the time we went green, it would be less laps. Never mind. Forget I was saying anything there. But still, 1 caution, that would be a race record for me on NASCAR Heat 4 and on the channel if we only get 1 caution. Honestly, we can get 2 more before the end of the race and we'd still hit the race record of 3. Been a quiet day incident-wise, but it has been a great race so far regardless. Goes to show you don't need a lot of cautions, or hardly any at all, to have a great race. And this is happening on a track that usually doesn't perform as great of races here at Pocono. Pocono's definitely been... Oh man, drove it in way too deep that time to get into turn 2. That cost us a little bit of time, but Pocono's had its hidden gems over the years. They have put on some pretty good races, and honestly, that second race there last year was not that bad, and it probably would have been even better if it finished with the fuel mileage race it was looking like for a while there when Eric Jones was leading late. First race they had last season, that was kind of a dud though. Kyle Busch ended up pretty much leading the entire race. The only other guy I remember leading that race, honestly, was Clint Boyer at one point in time because of pit strategy. But yeah, Kyle Busch dominated that June Pocono race last year. And of course this year they're running the double header, hopefully at the end of June if that goes according to plan. And I will be there for both events of the doubleheader. I'll be vlogging all my NASCAR trips this year. Hopefully we get a decent amount of them still. I haven't had to postpone any trips yet. I plan on attending the Coke 600, and that's the first race they're looking like going back at, but I have a bad feeling I'm not going to be able to get into that race. I could see them racing without a crowd, but I just don't know if they're going to be racing with a crowd or not for that race, which would suck. I'm going to have to cancel all my plans and try to get my vacation time back from work. But we'll see. Until then, hopefully you enjoy the content on this channel as I bring you guys full race realistic live streams such as the one you're watching. If you are new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below for more daily NASCAR content, as well as the like button if you are enjoying this race / broadcast over the course of this one here tonight. Got Michigan coming up tomorrow night, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. That'll be the next full race live stream. And a couple career mode episodes coming up tomorrow morning that will be streamed as well. I think we'll start about 10 o'clock or so Eastern Standard Time for both times as well tomorrow. But we're going to finish this one off here tonight. We got an alright race going for us so far. We're fading back pretty quick. Almost 10 seconds back of Kyle Busch, the race leader now. Still in 11th. Daniel Suarez, Eric Jones both in front of us though, not by a lot. But again, we want to split the stage in half, 30 and 30 if at all possible. Obviously with the caution laps, it'll probably be either a little less or a little more laps run to start the stage if we stay green all the way to the end. And with only having the one caution so far today, that'll be interesting to see if we get another one or not as we go 3 wide up the middle. Clean pass on both of them. What a move going into turn 3. Cannot clear the 20 of Eric Jones. He's still to the outside of us as Daniel Suarez is tucked in behind us. We try to clear him down the long pond straightaway. And we will. Going into turn 1. What a great move. 3 wide. Up the middle. And to do it as clean as we did as well. Not wasting hardly any time at all. Still about 10 seconds off the lead though. This is the furthest back we've been since the start of the race, when we were about 11.5 seconds off the lead after starting at the rear of the field. We've won the first 2 stages. Stage 1, kind of an anticlimactic finish despite a good first 30 to 40 laps. Went caution free throughout. Had 1 caution in stage 2 that kind of split the strategy up a little bit, but everybody finished on the same strategy regardless, as we had a last lap pass going from 3rd to 1st to win that stage. So that is what we have looked at so far here in this one. So we now look to the inside of Denny Hamlin for position. And that'll move us up to 8th. And we'll clear him before we get into turn 1. Joey Logano, next car for position that we will try to catch and pass. Kyle Busch has pulled away from the 2nd place car right now. He is way out ahead of the field. And him not being able to battle with anybody is the reason why he's getting out further ahead than what he did in the last stage when he was battling with Tyler Reddick, because Reddick is not there to battle with. But Reddick is inside the top 5 once again. We made contact off the restart with one another and slid us both back through the field. So we're both trying to fight back. Reddick has fought back a lot quicker than we have. But we're not giving up as well. Thanks, Jose, for the nice stage wins. Yeah, it was a crazy finish to stage 2. Like I said, we were running them down from about 7.5 seconds off the lead for about the last 11 to 12 laps. Reddick and Busch were battling. Then once they caught lap traffic, we were catching them 10 times quicker and made a last lap pass from the for the win. Both passed Reddick and Kyle Busch on the last lap, so that was pretty awesome. So we cleared Busch out of turn 2. So that's setting up for a possible dramatic finish here. Pocono, though, one of the best races we've had this season. If we have an epic finish to the end of this race like we did in stage 2, this could possibly be the best race we've had on the channel this season. Talladega is obviously up there. We had an epic finish to the Daytona 500. Dover was a pretty good race as well. So, I mean, that's 3 races I could name for you guys that we've had awesome finishes, and this could be one of them here come race end. Looking to pass Harvick here through the tunnel turn in turn 2. We're going to clear him. 4th position, he looks back under us again as we go to block and as well get by the 1 of Kurt Busch. That'll move us up to 5th. .43 to go. We're still quite a ways behind Kyle Busch right now, though. 7.5 seconds back. We were about 10 seconds back, though, about 5 laps ago. But Kyle Busch has caught lap traffic, which is costing him a lot of time now. We obviously haven't caught the lap traffic yet. And Tyler Reddick, the next driver in front of us, in 4th. He's also in the process of catching Truex for 3rd. How about Brad Keselowski in 2nd? He hasn't been up that far through the field in a while here today. Big run on Reddick. Down the long pond straightaway. Big draft coming down to the inside. Going into turn 1. Driving it in deep. Left side tires down on the yellow line. Easily clearing Reddick off of turn 1. We definitely have the fastest car on the track right now. And we should get by Truex and clear him before we get into turn 2 as well. There we go. Two Penske teammates running 2nd and 3rd. Keselowski, this is the furthest he's been up in the field so far today. Only 4 drivers have led laps in this one. Ryan Blaney, Kyle Busch. Busch has led the most so far. Kurt Busch has led a lap or 2 in this one, and so has Tyler Reddick. Pit window is about to open here very soon as we will overtake 2nd place on Brad Keselowski. When we get to the start-finish line next time, the pit road, or I should say not pit road, but the pit fuel window will open up because we could run 40 laps on a full tank. So I wonder if you might have guys trying to short pit. We're definitely going to split the stage in half here. Definitely going to pit at the halfway mark. We're still 3.5 seconds off the lead of Kyle Busch. So again, I would like to take the lead before we pit. We'll just have to wait and see how things play out. There's 3 wide passing those 2 lap cars of Brian Truex and Joey Gase there. Still a lap car in between me and Kyle Busch. Despite seeing more guys having issues throughout the course of the race today, but only 1 caution again. Kyle Busch has huge lap traffic in front of him. Just 2 cars, but they were side by side, and he got held up all the way through turn 1. Had to go to the outside just to get around both of them. They're still side by side, and now they follow each other single file into the tunnel turn in turn 2. So hopefully they're still single file by the time I catch them. We got a big run off of turn 2. Taking it down to the inside. And we're going to get by both of them before we get into turn 3. Gained a ton of time on Kyle Busch that last lap. Cutting the lead down mightily. Now a second off the race lead. To the line. 39 laps to go here at Pocono. Oh boy. Got about 5 lap cars packed in line. Not far ahead of the race leader, Kyle Busch. We're a half second back now. Getting a run. Going into turn 2. Big run coming. Out of the inside for the race lead. Going into turn 2. Dive bomb. Trying to get it to stick. Left cars in the way. And here comes the 18. Side by side for the lead. Contact. Contact between the 18 and the 12. Nowhere to go for both of us. Loose off of turn 3. Busch gonna hold on to the lead for one more lap. Side draft, now trying to get away from everybody. Down to the inside of the racetrack again. Blaine to the lead at Pocono. Busch tries to go up the middle, 3 wide back there. I don't know how that's going to work out going into turn 1. It doesn't. He's still trapped behind all 5 of them. As we pull away. Unbelievable. It'll be an official lead change when we get back to the start-finish line. So we're still about 7 laps or so from the halfway mark in the stage. $37 to go. Oh boy. Yeah, at that point in the run where the tires are definitely starting to get really loose. They near about 50% tire wear. Again, we'll have to run a few extra laps compared to stage 1 on these tires to get to the halfway point. But already out to about a 6-second lead on Kyle Busch, and Keselowski's catching him big time. Busch still probably caught in that lap traffic. So we get out to a huge lead here. 7.5 seconds now. Keselowski's caught him within about 0.2 of a second now. A couple car lengths back of him. That's going to allow us to pull away even more. We just ran our fastest lap of the race at 54.195 with a little bit older tires on the car. That is amazing. Still about a half second back of our fastest lap ever here at Pocono. Just goes to show we have not had the short run speed all day long today. Nevertheless, here we go. Oh boy. To the inside on Matt Tift. Making the pass there. Will anybody try to short pit maybe and gain a little bit of track position perhaps? Keselowski has taken second place away from Kyle Busch now at 35 to go. That's going to slow Kyle Busch down quite a bit. We still have 12 drivers on the lead lap. Oh boy, really loose again there. Gotta be careful. Kyle Busch back up to second place once again. He has gotten by the 2 of Keselowski. So we'll be pitting here in a couple laps. We have made 2 green flag stops already today, and this would be our 3rd. Assuming we stay green and don't get the caution. Ooh. Really skating through turn 2 that time. And I got up into the wall there off corner exit. Still doing all right. Clear Menard pretty easily there. Kind of keep an eye on the track map down below to make sure that none of the lead lap cars are going to try to pit early. So we have our largest lead of the race by far here in this one, 16.5 seconds. We have not had a double-digit lead. Or sorry, no, we did have a double-digit lead once in stage 2 because of the lap traffic. But not this big. Not 17 seconds like we have right now going into turn 3. We'll stay out this time, and we'll pit next time by. That'll give us 31 laps to go when we come out of the pits. The tires are just getting really loose right now. Not going to make it much more longer. Can technically stay out about another 13 laps or so, but no need to do that. Oh boy. Thought we were going to smack the wall off the 2. I would have if I didn't pedal out of the gas there. Just sliding it through turn 2 right now. This car is just so loose. It's not tight. It's just the way the rear tires kick out just washes up near the wall there. Off of turn 3. Got to make sure we don't speed, of course. Got it down to 55 miles an hour in time. So on to pit road we go. 3/4 of a tank of fuel. Plenty to make it to the end. Green flag pit stops once again here at Pocono. Time for a quick stop here. 4 tires all the way around. Off and running, and there we go. Kyle Busch is now taking the race lead. It was a pretty good pit stop, plus we got onto pit road pretty well ourselves there also. So we're going to have a tire advantage here. 4 fresh Goodyears, and how long will the rest of the leaders stay out before they hit pit road? We fall back to 11th. In front of Alex Bowman by about 10 to 10.5 seconds, and behind Daniel Suarez by about 4.5 to 5 seconds. So again, 12 drivers on the lead lap currently. And the later the leaders stay out, the fresher the tires they're going to have on me to the end of the race. But also, the longer they stay out right now, the fresher the tires and the faster I'll be trying to catch them before they hit pit road. So it's kind of like a interesting trade-off here, as we stuck to our strategy we've done all race long by kind of short pitting here, and we have won the first 2 stages, so it's working out so far. Cutting the stages in half to pit. Usually don't do that, usually run it out as long as I possibly can, but Pocono's a unique racetrack. Pocono's a long 2.5 mile racetrack. You can honestly take this strategy and get it to work like we have in this one. And right now we're about 20 to 20.5 seconds off the lead, but still running good. Those leaders haven't even pit yet. They're probably going to stay out as long as they can. Remember, they can make it They can make it until about 17 laps to go in the stage at the longest before they have to pit. So they still have about 12 laps or so left in the tank. Actually caught the 10th place driver of Daniel Suarez off turn 1 to the outside. And we'll make the pass easily. Get around Eric Jones before he pits as well. And we got another 6 seconds before we catch Hamlin in 8th. So these guys are already faster as it is on the short runs. So if they have that much fresher tires than what I do as well, it can make a huge difference. But I just feel like they're giving up way too much time. And we have less than 30 laps to go. I don't know if this is going to work. Now, if a caution comes out, that traps me back in whatever position I'm at. I am on the lead lap still, but I would have to pit. Because otherwise they're just going to have fresher tires and they'll be ahead of me on the restart. So I would have to pit 2 again. Already made my last pit stop. Yeah, if a caution comes out, that will definitely spoil the strategy. So that's probably what Kyle Busch is looking for here. He probably thinks that's his best chance to win the race. Had a big run there on Jamie McMurray for a moment. Break a little bit earlier than what I wanted to, but yeah, definitely cutting into that lead. You can see right there, 17.5 seconds back. Obviously, Busch and lap traffic still as we stay green here in the final stage. We try to run the final 78 laps of this race under green. Still, one caution. One caution in this race. We've got 26 to go. Came up perfectly halfway through the race. Just past Hamlin for 8th now. Yeah, leader's definitely going to stay out as long as they can at this point in the race. So there is not going to be a fuel mileage race to the end of this one here at Pocono like we have seen in years past. But I don't know, it'll be interesting. That is for sure. Oh boy, got really tight there all of a sudden coming out of turn 3. We're good though. Joey Logano, Brad Keselowski, that's Matt Tifft, sorry. Saw the white car, I was thinking it was Brad Keselowski, but that was not the case. So we'll get around Tifft there before we get into the corner. Diving it deep now on Logano, and the fresher tires, we should clear him off of turn 1. Yes, we do. Easily. About to get around Harvick too. And honestly, these guys that are already getting passed by me, I mean, they might as well pit. They've got nothing else to lose. They're just not doing that, at least not yet. Ooh, Eric Almirola moved down right in front of us. 3 wide off the exit of turn 3. Me and Kurt Busch try to split him there as now we get to the inside of Busch for 5th. 24 to go. We'll move on by and we're back in the top 5 once again here at Pocono. how interesting of a race it has been so far. No real short runs in this race, though, I do have to say. That is the one unique thing that has gone on throughout the course of this one. But yeah, things are looking good. Still about 10 seconds off of Kyle Busch from the race lead. But again, all the leaders have to pit. Both that are on the lead lap behind us and that are still in front of us yet. Stay out as long as they can. Got to be nearing their pit window here within the next 5 laps. Again, they can make it till about 17 to go at the most. That's what they're trying to do here. We've got 22 to go currently. And if we catch Kyle Busch before he even hits pit road, we're going to have a giant lead. And again, he's going to become faster than us. If a caution comes out at any point in time before the end of the race, they're going to have fresher tires than me on the restart. So we might honestly even have to pit. So, and they're not going to go a lap down with Pocono taking over 50 seconds to get around this place. 2.5 mile racetrack, so yeah, caution could come out at any point in time, and I'd have to pit from the lead or stay out depending on how many laps are left. But put myself in a very interesting situation, that is for sure. Turn 3 had to check up just a little bit there, but we're going to catch Truex here for sure. Tyler Reddick in third as well. Not too far ahead of us. We get to the inside of Truex going into turn 1 for the 3rd spot. We're going to get around him. Side draft off the 21 of Menard. Got on by. Tyler Reddick just in front of us. We're up to 3rd. We're going to clear Reddick off of turn 2 now. Got a car hitting pit road this time. I believe it's the 18 of Kyle Busch. So it looks like the leaders are going to hit pit road. Keselowski comes down as well in second. So Busch pitting from the lead. Lead change at the line, 20 laps to go. Ryan Blaney back out in front at Pocono once again. As we have the rest of the field finally cycling in at the same time. I think once Busch came down, that sold Keselowski and everybody else behind to come down onto pit road as well. Interesting to see if any of those lead lap cars stay out. I don't think they are. I think they ran it about as far as they could. Probably could have went a couple laps longer, but I think they waited long enough, especially those guys that were already passed by me. So we're already out of turn 2. They're still on pit road. I don't think we're going to go a full lap in front of him. Nope, Kyle Busch is just coming off of pit road now. And again, they will be faster, but they're going to be too far behind to catch up. They're going to need a caution to get back into this at some point. That could happen. Quite a few of them are going to go a lap down here, though. Likely. They might all stay on the lead lap, I'm not sure. There's Hamlin up ahead. He was in 8th. 9th place, rather. So Hamlin in 9th. He's barely going to stay on the lead lap. So 10th place would be the first driver 1 lap down. And we are 35 seconds ahead of Kyle Busch after he came off of pit road. So how quickly and how much time can he gain here? There's a lot of open traffic in front of him as well. Could be a difference maker. 35 seconds off the lead with 19 laps to go to try and reel me in. That's a couple seconds a lap, and no, I thought somebody was blowing up there getting onto pit road, but that wasn't the case. It looked like he was just locking the brakes up, trying not to speed. I think it was Chris Buescher in the 37. So again, these leaders have about 10 lap fresher tires than us. So Kyle Busch is definitely going to run us down to the very end, but did we get out to a big enough lead? Busch has a couple lap cars right in front of him, but that's about it. And he's got a lot of open air. He's already caught up 2 seconds in a lap and a half. He has to gain about 1.5 seconds a lap on average to catch us, unless we get that lone caution or that second caution of the race. Even Ryan Preece in 23rd is staying ahead of us here. We can't really get that big of a run on him. Here we go now. Down the Long Pond straightaway, we're going to look to the inside of Preece. And we're going to pass him through turn 1. Preece going to look for the crossover, but we just blocked him off. Busch has gained 3 seconds in about 3 laps. Only 16 laps to go. Again, 9 drivers on the lead lap, 31.5 second lead on Kyle Busch. Man, that pit strategy worked out better in this last stage with it being a little longer compared to what it did in the first 2 stages. It was a little shorter. By far the bigger of the leads throughout the course of this race for anybody. Remember, by the time Kyle Busch pitted, remember, after we already pitted, he was only about 8 seconds ahead of us. When he had hit pit road, we were up to 3rd already. Keselowski's still in 3rd as well, and Keselowski was only about 2 seconds ahead of us. Probably would have caught Brad in about another couple laps. I would have taken another handful of laps to catch Kyle Busch, but they were only going to be able to run 3 laps at the most anyway. We never got that caution anyway, so the sooner they pitted, the more laps they have to try and run us down. Maybe perhaps the more laps per caution. Oh, we got a car blowing up off of turn 2. Huge stack up now. Smoke right in front of us now going into turn 3. Is that car going to be able to get to pit road or not? Can't tell who it is. It looks like it's Michael McDowell. He is able to get to pit road. No caution. We stay green. I'm surprised that there was no yellow there. 14 to go. Yeah, we stay green. I was catching up to those cars ahead of us pretty quickly, and I was wondering why. That would be why. So a little bit of a scary moment there for a second. Busch was able to close in about another 1.5 seconds because of it. That could have been a lot worse than what it was. There could have been a big wreck right in front of us, not only to cause a caution, but it could have gotten us involved as well. Yeah, if a caution were to come out right now, I would definitely pit with this many laps left still. Then you wonder if anybody else would pit, obviously, as well. I'd assume if I pit, they'd probably all stay out for different strategy, but then I would have probably about 10 lap fresher tires than them when they have 10 lap fresher tires than me right now. It's a complete role reversal of how we're running right now, currently on the racetrack. Busch kind of caught with another couple lap cars. We pulled a second ahead of him in the last 3 laps again. And I don't think we're faster than him. It wouldn't make much sense. At this point in the run, I think it's just the lap traffic. And you can see Newman's kind of holding up even Denny Hamlin right in front of us, who's seemingly faster. So Denny Hamlin's going to go lap down. 11 laps to go. 8 drivers now currently on the lead lap. That's the fewest in the race so far today. Kevin Harvick, Joey Logano just in front of both of us. Blaney up the middle between Harvick and Logano. Down the second longest straightaway of the track off of turn 1 into turn 2. 6 drivers now on the lead lap. And Kurt Busch not too much further ahead in 6th. Truex, Reddick, both within reach as well. Reddick having a stellar job here. Fought for a chance to win the stage. Finished 3rd back in stage number 2. 3rd in stage number 1 by himself. Now running 4th late in the race. 10 to go. Keselowski's really come on strong though towards the end of this one. Out of nowhere, he's running in 3rd as well. Trying to close in on the 1 of Busch. Ooh, little contact here. We're going to give him a push off of turn 1. Now looking to the bottom. Barely clearing him off of turn 2. 5 drivers now on the lead lap, so if there is a caution, and we do have to hit pit road because the leaders have fresher tires behind us, we would be restarting in 5th. So that's pretty big. Nine laps to go here at Pocono. If this stays green to the finish though, the finish is not going. This race was ran. It's very close to tell if it's going to be me leading the most laps at the end of the race or if it was Kyle Busch, because we both led a lot. We both led together over 150 laps in the race. I think Kurt Busch only led like maybe 1 or 2 laps, and Reddick only led 1 or 2. But outside of that, I mean, it's literally been all me and Kyle Busch. Just crazy. Kind of tell from the very beginning of the race it was going to be a battle between us two. And now with 8 laps to go, we're so close to finishing this one off here on a Friday night. Again, once more, we'll have another live stream tomorrow night, full race live stream here on NASCAR Heat 4 on the channel. Full live broadcast / commentary. That will be coming at Michigan, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. So hopefully you guys tune in for that one. If you're enjoying this race, hit the like button down below. As well as if you're enjoying the commentary over the course of the race, hit the like button down below. If you're new to the channel, hit the subscribe button down below for more daily NASCAR content such as the videos and race streams like this. And hit the bell notification so you guys don't miss an upload. Appreciate all the support from the fans I've gotten, especially over the last couple weeks alone. I mean, the channel's really starting to boom. It might seem slowly but surely in some eyes, but in my eyes it's feeling quicker more than ever before. These first couple months of the NASCAR season have flown by, even though they've only had 4 races. It's really been the start of the boom period of the channel. For the Daytona 500, I think we had less than 30 subscribers. We're literally on average gaining a little over 1 a day. Sometimes we gain 2 or 3, sometimes we gain 1, but it's been awesome. It's been an awesome ride. Privilege to have this opportunity. Nevertheless, as we get back to action here, still got a race to finish. Oh boy. Got a little skatey off of turn 3 again, so we're at that point again in the run. 20 to 25 laps on the tires. And although they don't look very worn out, they're in the 40s right now, but I mean, this car just skates around the racetrack. It's pretty loose, and although it might look tight on exit, it's just kind of like washing all over the racetrack, really. Another reason why, if a caution comes out with everybody behind us having fresher tires, we might have to pit. Now, you might be wondering, if you are just joining in here for the finish of this race, oh boy, we got loose there that time. But yeah, you guys might be wondering, okay, we're actually kind of pulling away slightly at times on Kyle Busch. How does he have fresher tires? Well, he's in a lot heavier lap traffic, as you see on the track map down below, compared to what we are. We're going to catch quite a few lap cars here before the finish of the race too, if we stay green. But Busch has been dealing with a lot of lap cars. He's got a lot more clustered chunk right ahead of him. So that's why we're gaining time on him. And we had such a big lead coming out of the pits because we had pit about 10 laps earlier than Kyle Busch, gaining that much track position before the leaders had hit pit road. So a little less than 5 laps to go now. Now Martin Truex Jr. is the next car in front of us on the lead lap. We're less than a second away from catching him. And Tyler Reddick only about another 2 seconds ahead of him in 4th. Don't think we're going to catch Keselowski before the finish of the race, so if we do get a caution, we will at least, if you factor in the free pass as well, we will at least have 4 drivers on the lead lap. Hopefully we stay green to the finish, we'll see. 4 laps to go at the line now here for Ryan Blaney. That's a long time for there to be a caution around this place. That is a couple minutes at least for right now. Oh boy. A little loose there again. That's also about 10 miles too to get to the finish. Just one lap car in between me and Reddick right here. Looks like it's going to be Clint Boyer. We're holding our own pretty good. It'll be interesting to see if the other leaders pit if we get a caution as well, rather than just us. 3 laps to go at the line now. If a caution comes out, we will go to overtime and run past the scheduled 400-mile, 160-lap limit. So we've just put Tyler Reddick a lap down now, down the Long Pond straightaway, and Keselowski's still getting held up in lap traffic. Is 49 seconds off the lead, but he's still roughly about 5 seconds ahead of us. I could see him way out ahead up there, but definitely not going to catch him before the end of the race. So if we do get a caution and have a restart, we'll have 3 drivers restarting at the front of the field, and Reddick, as of right now, would have the free pass. He's not too far ahead of Truex, though. Just a couple seconds. Reddick got through that lap traffic behind us there pretty quickly for the most part. Oh man, looked like Alex Bowman up ahead there, kind of mowed the grass coming out of 3. Not lucky though. Get very loose down there when you do that. 2 to go. 2.5 miles away from the white flag. If we get there, that will mean the next flag would end the race, whether it is the yellow or the checker. Man, really loose in turn 1 again there. Really loose again. I don't know why Parker Kligerman's like a ghost car, but we'll pass him clean just in case. It's kind of weird late in this race. Into turn 3 now. Still got a little bit of a ways to get to the white flag. We'll see. And it looks like we're going to get there. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go at Pocono. 1 caution the entire race today. That is just unbelievable. That will be a new record in the Cup Series for any one of my races on the channel. Next closest was our Auto Club Speedway race where we had 4 yellows in that one, but this one's definitely got to break it. 1 caution. This is going to be tough to break. It's going to be tough to get a caution-free race here at some point in time. Keselowski not too far ahead of us. Ooh, man, we ran through turn 2 solidly. One more corner to go. He should finish on the lead lap. We're going to have a big margin of victory despite having a pretty racy race throughout the course of this one. The highlight of the race was the finish to stage 2. That is for sure. Off of 3 for the final time. Checkered flag in the air. Ryan Blaney wins his 11th race of the season, and it comes at Pocono here tonight as the dominating season continues. A lackluster finish in the final 20 laps of this race, but we had some good moments throughout the course of this one. Definitely one to go back and watch. So we have the momentum now running into Michigan tomorrow night, keeping the win streak alive here at Pocono. That is now 5 races in a row in which we have won. Talladega, Dover, Kansas, Charlotte in the Coke 600, and now Pocono. Awesome. $144 minutes total time in this race. That's 2 hours, 24 minutes here in this one from start to finish. Once again, 11th race win of the year. We're just looking for playoff points, as many as we possibly can. It's amazing how much we've dominated this season. The way it started, I mean, each race is so competitive, too. I mean, we're having to fight and claw for a lot of these wins, but they, seems like we're right there towards the finish. We're competing. We're getting a lot of stage points, too, so it's definitely helping us along the way, but nevertheless, it has still been a fun season. It's all about race-to-race progress here. There's Ryan Blaney in victory lane. So that is going to be it here in this one. Kyle Busch had the fastest lap, 53.3 flat. He led the most laps, 78 laps led. He led almost half the race. We were very close to that as well. We started at the rear, so we had the on-the-move finish there, 38th to 1st. Michael McDowell started 21st. He DNF'd and finished 38th. One of the 3 drivers that DNF'd in this race. Again, 3 DNFs, 1 caution throughout the course of this race. And that is going to be it. Again, hit the like button down below if you enjoyed this race and or the commentary over the course of this one. A couple hours long at Pocono tonight. We got Michigan tomorrow night, Eastern Standard Time, 8 o'clock. Couple career mode episodes coming up in the morning as well. And as usual, for more daily NASCAR content, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification so you don't miss those uploads tomorrow night as well as future uploads. And I will see you guys later. Thanks for watching as always. Have a good night.